Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here, bringing you another Hearthstone video. This time we're evaluating the slow Tempo Mage. Now we're going to start off with a deck used by Amaz, who is a world-class Hearthstone player. He runs Team Archon, and this is a deck that he's been using, or that he used on his stream. Now, what's interesting about this deck, it's called the Amaz Double Trouble deck, and what you've got here is you've got the usual Tempo Mage cards in terms of, let's say, Arcane Missiles, Frostbolt, Portal, the early spells that usually combo with Mana Worm and with Flame Waker. There's double Effigy in this deck, so it values Effigy, and the reason is you've got late game cards like the Sludge Belcher, Emperor, Archmage Antonidas, Dr. Boom and Rhonin, and if you can get an Effigy procced on one of those big cards, then you're in a really good position. So all in all, this is a deck in which you're relying on drawing into that early game, the Mad Scientist, for instance, the Mana Worm in particular, because it's a 1-drop, and you hope to ramp into the mid and then the late game. The trouble with the slow decks is that if you draw into your late game in your opening hand, you're basically screwed. So all in all, though, this deck is a lot of fun to play, and we're going to showcase a few games just to see how it fares. The other thing to consider is Rhonin. Rhonin is an interesting card. There are arguments for and against including him. Some would argue he's way too slow, and he's 8 cost. But if Rhonin is able to pull off the Death Rattle, the Archmage Antonidas and the Flame Wakers, well, they're going to have an absolute field day due to the Arcane Missiles either giving you fireballs or being used in conjunction with the Flame Waker to pull off some attacks on the board. So, yeah, let's give this deck a try. And our first game is going to be up against a Tempo Mage. Now, when you face a Tempo Mage, you have to ask yourself the question, what am I going up against? A slow one? A fast one? This is always a question. So we're going to dump that opening hand. And that's really bad. And this is what I was talking about. When you play the slow Tempo Mage, you're going to be drawing into some of these late game cards. Well, that's not too bad. At least I'll have a turn 2 play, but I've drawn both secrets in my hand, and that's really bad. That's really bad. Oh look, and another scientist. So, yeah, this is going to be a challenging start. I opted to ping there. I think pinging is important. Just get rid of whatever threats on the board. Well, that's not too bad for me, I guess. This deck only plays 1 copy of Mirror Entity, so I know if I put a Scientist down on the board and it dies, Mirror Entity will be what comes... actually, no, sorry, Effigy will be what comes out. Because, yeah, sorry, it's 2 copies of Effigy, 1 of Mirror Entity. So when that Scientist dies, Effigy will be the secret that comes through. And that's not great at this stage of the game, because you want Effigy to be able to proc on something big. On something that at least costs 3 or 4 mana, maybe 5, 6 or 7 mana. Yeah, not looking particularly great. Okay, that's good. We've got the Azadrake, but it's not turn 5, unfortunately. We're a turn too late. So, I'm just going to play that Scientist, and I know that if it dies, Effigy's going to proc, and I'm going to get a 2-drop, which is not great value, really, because it's a 3-cost card giving you a 2-drop then. But I've got no choice. I need the board presence. Otherwise, I'm just going to get run over by this Tempo Mage. Okay, so there's Effigy. Oh, it's not bad. He can't kill it. So yeah, that's alright, and my hero power now does 2 damage. Right, so I got very lucky there. I can eliminate his crab next turn in one go. Although I may want to consider dropping the Azodrake actually and just trading in. But, oh, I don't want to pass up that hero power. It is 2 damage. That is really, really valuable. 2 damage. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna play my own mirror entity now. So 1 copy of mirror entity in this deck. And let's see what he drops. He may think it's another effigy, because he's already seen 1 effigy. He may think that this deck focuses on effigy. He's going to give me an Azodrake, and he's going to have to trade in. Interesting. Ooh, Micro Machine. Okay. Well, I've got Arcane Missiles, and I've got the hero power. That'll be 3 mana. What else can I do, though? I could Azodrake and Arcane Missiles, and I'd get 4 missiles. Is that going to kill anything? Difficult choices here. Difficult choices. I could Azodrake, trade in the 3/2, and then Arcane Missiles. But no, I'm going to opt to kill the Micro Machine, and I'm just simply... I'm going to... I don't know what to do here, actually. I think trading is wise, because at least I can kill it. Okay, we actually managed to kill it, eventually. And we'll just draw cards. Now, this is interesting, because you look at my hand. Next turn, I've got Dr. Boom. We've got double Azodrake. He's just given me a spell. He's just given me a second spell. That's the drawback of playing Spellslinger. Now, on previous Tempo Mage decks that I've showcased on my YouTube channel, Spellslinger was a card that was featured, and it's an interesting card because it gives you a spell, it gives you a 3/4 body, but it gives your opponent a spell as well, and that can lose you the game. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of Spellslinger. Even though I do play it from time to time, I play it with caution. I see it as a risk, a big risk. I play Dr. Boom. He plays Dr. Boom. There go the bombs. Oh, it did 4. And that goes face. Okay, so his board looks ridiculously threatening at the moment. He's got Boom, a Boom bot, and 2 Spellslingers, both at 3 health. So what I'm going to do is, there isn't a huge amount for me to do apart from, I think, consider trading. Pinging off the Boom bot first, right? Let Dr. Boom absorb some damage. Okay, he absorbed that bomb attack. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, what I can then do is I can taunt up. And this deck, unlike the previous Tempo Mage decks that I've played, it plays Sludge Belcher, which is really good. The Belcher's going to absorb some damage. I got the value trade there with Boom, took out a Spellslinger. I think that's pretty good. Using Boom's health total there to absorb a bomb, to take on a Spellslinger. And I was contemplating the Arcane Missiles. Now's not the time for it. We haven't got a Flame Waker in hand. Arcane Missiles will be really good with the Archmage Antonidas. We've also got Power Overwhelming, which will combo very well. So, okay, there goes Dr. Boom. He got backstab from his Spellslinger. Okay. So there goes my my Belcher. Boom, though, had to trade into the Slime, so the Belcher's still got some value. And there's my Flame Waker. Now, what kind of shenanigans can I pull off here? I have serious card advantage compared to him. He has board advantage, though. So if I'm able to survive on the board, I'll be able to win this by playing the long game. So we're going to go for the Flame Waker here. This is very exciting. We'll ping Boom. We'll put him down. Come on, hit Boom. Oh, come on. All right, another spell. Our last shot. Yep, that worked. So RNG City there. RNG City. We got a decent result out of it. He'll trade into the 2/4 and we'll get an effigy, which isn't too bad, I suppose. It's not too bad. I prefer the effigy on a 5-drop or a 7-drop, but it's alright. That's not good. For the Might of Dalaran, there's Rhonin for my opponent. Now, I have Rhonin in my deck. He hasn't made an appearance yet. It concerns me that perhaps my opponent has the Archmage Antonidas, and that's a worry, because if Rhonin dies, I'm dead. Alright, let's cast these spells. Let's get the fireballs. Let's freeze Rhonin, but he deals 7 damage. We don't want him moving. And now, actually, that Wind Fury minion with Power Overwhelming did a decent job. It killed the Scavenging Hyena, it did damage to face, and we got fireballs. Alright. Blood Mage Thalnos. Oh wow, oh wow. All of the missiles went in. Wait, has he just given up? Oh, he has, he's dead. If he can't kill the Archmage, he's dead. And there we go. So, the slow mage here, Amaz's Double Trouble mage, really pulling its weight in the mid to late game. The Sludge Belcher was really good there, really good. It helped to absorb a couple of attacks, which allowed me to survive, and then he couldn't deal with the Archmage. I guess in games of this nature, and it's the same with Freeze Mage matches as well, Freeze Mage games, sorry, whoever puts the Archmage down first and gets a flow of fireballs is pretty much going to win the game. Because even if you deal with the Archmage, the fireballs that you get are often just, well, too much to deal with. Anyway, we're heading into another game now, and we're going up against another mage. And I'm going to keep the Water Ellie. I'm worried that if I discard the Water Ellie, I'll end up drawing into something like a Belcher, or the Archmage, or Rhonin, or the Emperor. We don't want those cards yet, so let's keep the 4-drop. What is it with me and secrets? I keep drawing into them early, as opposed to getting them out of Mad Scientist. We Frostbolted the Mana Worm there. It's too threatening. If he has lots of spells, it'll get buffed, and that's how you win the game. You know, if you're a Tempo Mage, particularly an aggressive, slower Tempo Mage, you get the value out of your Mana Worms early, and you do lots of face damage before you're forced to trade.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Yeah, mirror image. That's a classic strategy with Tempo Mage. Now, what you'll notice is this deck doesn't run mirror image. The previous versions of Tempo Mage that I was trying out, they ran mirror image. This one doesn't. It's an early game card, I guess, that you combo with the Mana Worm, that you combo with the Flame Waker, or a late game card to save you from dying. But in this particular Double Trouble Tempo Mage deck, it's replaced really by later game cards. What? That's a legendary. A 3/9. Huh. That's going to absorb damage. Okay. We're in trouble here. Unstable Portal. Wow. Okay. So all we can do is put down the Water Ellie there, really. It's the most effective play. This could signal the end of the game for me, actually. He's going to be, look, he's super aggressive now. And he's pinging face. He's going to go all out on my face. And what can I do? Well, I've got the Sludge Belcher, I guess. So in the last game, the Belcher was very valuable. It blocked out a couple of attacks that probably would have gone face. So let's see if the Belcher can do the same thing. Right, effigy. That's what I'm talking about. 4/3. Oh, it just dies. Okay. Okay, that is burn that would have gone face. And there's the second mirror image. He really wants to get that face damage in, doesn't he? Now he's pinging the Water Ellie. Okay, maybe he's out of cards, so he's a bit more scared now. Right, let's see if it's Mirror Entity. Yes, it is. To be expected, Mirror Entity. I'll give him a mana worm. I don't want to give him a shredder. You see, giving him a mana worm may actually be a bad thing if he draws into a spell, but it's better than giving him a shredder. Okay, so now, what do I do? I could try and kill off what I can on the board with arcane missiles, see if it hits the scientist. But, I mean, it's only turn 6, and I don't have that many options. I mean, look at my health. I'm at 19 health on turn 6. And,
Time runs out on me. What to do? What to do?
Ooh, Wolf Rider. Okay, at least I can clear the taunts. Sadly, the Wolf Rider just gets pinged down with his hero power, but I got the taunts out the way. And there's Mirror Entity. Hopefully he plays something good, and that's going to be what I'm going to be hoping for. A Dr. Boom would be pretty good here, because I'd get the boom, or alternatively, okay, he's going to do what I did to him. He's going to give me a mana worm. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yep, there's the ping. Now, is he going to go face? Or is he going to clear the water ellie? Huh. Okay, and there's a secret for him. Okay, I can't put down Boom. I've got to give him a shredder. I can't put down Boom. Okay, I got very unlucky there, unfortunately. Well, alright. Let's kill his legendary. And now let's just try the missiles, see where they land. Okay, I can at least ping that down. Okay, so I have Dr. Boom in hand. We're nearly even on board, nearly even. Yeah, we are now more or less even on board. He's going to trade, isn't he? Yeah, we're even on board. Oh no. The Emperor, getting him no value, but that's a lot of damage on board. That is 9 damage. So I think here what I need to do is I need to play Dr. Boom. Unfortunately, it's not turn 9. Oh, Armorsmith. If it was turn 9, I could have pinged the Emperor and traded the Shredder in. So I've got an Armorsmith though. Okay, that's so. Oh, he's going face, right? That means I'm probably going to die at some point. Yeah, I think on this basis I die to a fireball if he top decks one. He's at 29 health. Right, there's Rhonin. Can I clear his board here? That's the question. And gain some armor at the same time. We have to kill the Emperor. We need to maximize the armor gain. So, let's attack with everything. It just gets me maximum armor. Oh. Okay, yeah, I can ping it. That's good. Now I can play Rhonin. Okay, now. I have 11 health. What can he do? Oh, he's pinging. Okay, that's one thing you can do. And passing. Really? Okay. I'm actually going to ping my own Rhonin to gain armor. I think that's a heads-up play, and I'm not going to play the Flame Waker because if I get a spell, I can use it. So, what's he got in hand then? So, Fireball, and another Fireball? Of course. Of course. The only thing that could have won him this game, double Fireball, he had it. And there's the luck that you can sometimes get with Tempo Mage. I had the board, my late game cards were down, I had an Armorsmith up, and yet I still lost. His legendary that he got from Unstable Portal won him that game, and the double Fireball obviously was tremendous for him. So good for him. I'm happy for him. This is the luck that you can sometimes get with Tempo Mage, and sometimes you can just get very unlucky with Unstable Portal. So, another game, another mage.
You asked for it.
Now, this hand, we're going to keep it. There is some consideration for doing a mulligan there for a Mana Worm, perhaps, but Sorcerer's Apprentice in the opening hand is really, really useful. Really useful. There's the Mana Worm. Okay, we got it. That's great. Next turn, we can start to sweep him down, or knock him down, sweep the board with... Oh, right, okay, he concedes. Great, he saw the Mana Worm and he thought, no way. So his hand must have been really bad. But what we would have looked at is Sorcerer's Apprentice, and we'd get a free Arcane Missiles, and the Mana Worm gets buffed, and we just start knocking things down on the board, sweeping through the game, dominating the board, drawing into each card, playing it on curve, and just dominating. That's what Tempo Mage can do if you've got the right combination of cards. Now, next game.
Versus Gul'dan.
We're going up against a Warlock.
Soul shall be mine.
You asked for it.
That's bad. That is really, really bad. You do not want Dr. Boom in the opening hand. Okay, that's just brightened up my day. That's better. We've got a Mana Worm. Now, what we can consider doing next turn is Portal, alternatively Arcane Missiles to hopefully kill something with low health. The Mana Worm gets buffed, whichever choice we make. Right, we're not playing Arcane Missiles. Nerubian Egg there, bit of a static play, but yeah, we're going to do the Portal. We'll see what we get from the Portal. Hopefully something good. Right. Okay, don't know what to think about that. Unfortunately, we drew Rhonin, and you don't want to see that in your early hand. And this is the problem with this kind of deck. You draw your late game, you run a good chance of losing. Anyway, do we play the Blingtron, or do we play the Scientist? Right, RNG. Oh gosh, Poisoned Blade. Oof. Okay, a 4-attack weapon. Right. Maybe we can kill something. Yep. There we go. Okay, so this board now, he has the board advantage. He has an advantage with his weapon because it's activated by the hero power. So, but it's going to force him to tap, and he's a Zoolock. You want the Warlock to tap, because by tapping, the Warlock is essentially killing themselves, slowly. And with a mage, as a mage, you have burst potential. You can burst them down. Now, we've got 4 mana. We're going to consider the Arcane Missiles here. I mean, we could go Scientist Ping. Alternatively, we could play Missiles and hope it hits something. Ping Scientist is the safe route. And we're going to try and eliminate the 2-1. Nope, the weapon wants to go face instead. Okay, so RNG not on our side there. He'll kill the Scientist now with his weapon, and he'll maintain the 2-1 on his board. Thankfully, though, we have Arcane Missiles. And actually now thinking about it, Arcane Missiles is a terrible idea because of the Imp Gang boss. Okay, Mirror Entity is in play. I would have preferred it to be Effigy. Remember, we run 2 Effigies in this deck. I would have preferred it to be Effigy purely because we have a Sludge Belcher on board now. He's going to kill the Belcher, I think, on this turn. But hopefully he plays something juicy, something nice.
My shield for Argon.
That's not very juicy. That's great for him, not so great for me. Yeah. Can you imagine if the Mirror Entity effect gave you the battle cry of the minion? Wouldn't that be so good? Anyway, the Blingtron there, coming back to haunt me, unfortunately. So my Unstable Portal, very unlucky, because it gave him that weapon, which he's now using to full effect to clear my board. Okay. The Arcane Missiles, sadly, is a liability until we get rid of the Imp Gang boss. Okay, at least the trades here are awkward. Actually, they're not awkward. He's just going to tap and use the weapon, isn't he? So basically, my unstable portal won him the game, and he didn't clear the shredder. That's really interesting. Huh. Okay, I have to trade the shredder in. I have no choice. I have to do it. Huh. Okay, Dr. Boom. It's turn 7, sure. I was contemplating the Emperor and the Arcane Missiles, hoping to maybe take out the Imp at least, but the Imp can test the bomb, but no. Alright, he's tapping, he's going for weapon damage. What has he got? 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm at 22. He's going to go face. Okay. No, trade. Face? With your weapon? Really? Okay. I'm down to 12. There's effigy. I may be dead, actually. How much of this can I clear, though? This is the problem. And if I kill the Void Caller, what will it bring out? Oh, that's not bad. Am I forced to kill it? He has 5 cards in hand. What are the chances it's a demon? Oh my gosh. Who dares summon him? Okay, did 4 damage. Arcane Missiles. Win me the game. Win me the game. Hit, hit. That's great. I can ping. I can effigy. And if he kills Boom with a Dark Bomb, for instance, we get a 7-drop in return. Tremendous. Alright, 14 health versus 12 health. Alright, he thinks it's a mirror entity. It's not. Damn, there's Lotheb. And tap? Really? You want to tap? Ooh, double fireball would kill you. Speaking of fireballs, where are my fireballs? Okay, so we're going to kill the Voidwalker. And the Mice Dalaran has arrived. There is Rhonin. There is Rhonin. Oh, abusive sergeant. Really? Really? Okay. Wow. Okay, so we lost to a Doomguard. The second Doomguard. You see, given that we saw one Doomguard in hand already, that came out of the Void Caller, I was hoping there wouldn't be a second one. Unfortunately, there was, and that won him the game. We were close. Once again, we were close. But it didn't work out. So far, we are 2-2 with this deck. 2-2. Not a great record, is it? And I think both of the losses have just been unfortunate, where we were very close to winning, where we had the board, we had things going for us, and the opponent just drew into the right answers or the right RNG, whether it be from unstable portals or from other things. Yeah, we just couldn't compete.
Hello.
Okay, so this game here is against a paladin, and the opening hand is terrible, as you can see. The redeeming factor is the mad scientist, and that's going to buy us some time. We'll play it on turn 2. This is a paladin who is playing a knife juggler, so it's either mid-range or secrets. Or aggro paladin, for that matter. Well, it could be any of the paladins, so it actually doesn't tell us very much. But the meta is filled with secrets. Double knife juggler is actually quite strong. Although that juggle, the juggle there went into the scientist. The scientist absorbed the juggle, getting me value. So it absorbed the juggle. It got a trade. There's mirror entity, and now I just need to put stuff on the board. I just got to put stuff down. Yeah, one of those is probably going to die next turn, but it's fine. He'll get the value trade, and that's fine because it didn't go face. I was happy to lose the mana worm there. Okay, that's not bad. That secret, though, scares me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping. Okay, it's Avenge. Okay, that's good. If it was Noble Sacrifice, or redemption, I'd be sad. But thankfully I was able to deal with it. Wow, Kazan Mystic! The Paladin steals my secret. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. So this Paladin is teching out to beat other mages, secrets paladins, with the Kazan Mystic, or hunters. It's really good against hunters. Okay. This is a slow secrets paladin, because you see the Sludge Belcher on the board there. Now, I've got a Flame Waker play here that I can utilise, and I think it's my only option. I mean, Sludge Belcher or Drake is another option, but I need to get things off the board. Okay, we only got one thing off the board, unfortunately, but that's to be expected. That's RNG for you. We're going to make the trade because we want to get the effigy out. Okay, we want to get the effigy out. Also, the Belcher is contested by the Flame Waker now because the Belcher has 2 health. Unfortunately, he's drawing out those secrets. Okay, effigy. Wow! Got a legendary! That isn't really going to help us here a whole lot, I don't think. But we got a legendary! Okay. What is it? Noble Sack? Yep, Noble Sack. Get down. Fine. Whatever. Ooh, Avenge! Oh dear, Avenge on the slime! Ouch. Okay. I think we have to play the Sludge Belcher. Huh. Okay. And we ping the Lotheb. So if it trades, we can ping it down next turn. Ouch. There's the owl. Now, unfortunately, for the Paladin, you'd want to save the owl for something like the Archmage or Rhonin. But he feels that if he can silence the Belcher, kill it cleanly, get a board presence going, he feels he can win the game. And you know what? It is looking increasingly likely that he's going to win based on that board presence. So let's proc the secret. It is Repentance. We're going to play the Drake. Okay. We get a spell. I wish we'd had that spell previously to combo with Archmage. Wow! We killed 3 minions! Wow, talk about luck and RNG. That's really something. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better about this game. And I'm still feeling okay about this game because the challenger only brought out 2 secrets. He'd played a lot of his secrets already. Okay, now do we go for the Archmage turn here and do we draw 1 fireball? Or do we play Rhonin? I think we're gonna play Rhonin, I think. Right, the Might of Dalaran has arrived. We've got 4 damage because of the Drake now. Let's see. Wow, my RNG is really good today. We killed 2 of the 1/1s. That's wow, it's not bad. I think the RNG gods are looking out for me. Okay, it's get down. It's Noble Sack. That's fine. Rhonin is a massive threat. Well, there's Consecration, I guess. That's something. And he's going face. Of course he is. I think we're dead.
Behold!
Are we? Are we dead?
You require my assistance.
There's the Archmage. We're gonna play them all. See if we can mow the board down. Because we don't want to die. Okay, he's got 4 damage on board. If he top decks True Silver Champion, we lose. If he doesn't top deck anything, I think we win. So what are you top decking? Something you can use? It has to be True Silver Champion. Or Blessing of Kings. No, it's a mini bot. He drew his early game in the late game. Okay. Now, we can pull off 2 fireballs. That's 12 damage. It's not lethal, though. It's not lethal. So, what we have to do is we have to be clever about this. Okay, that does nothing. But it puts something on the board. What we're going to do is we're going to use... Well, we could ping and use a fireball. Or we could just double fireball to get 2 fireballs. The difference either way, whether we ping or whether we use a fireball. Would rather use the fireball to get the fireball. And then what we'll do is we'll use the Archmage to clear the 1/1. Okay, so now he needs 2 damage to kill us. He needs a consecration. He needs a second consecration. Does he have it? Does he have it?
Reporting for duty.
No, he doesn't have it. Right, do we win? 12. He's got 12 damage, 13. 18. No. It's not lethal, is it? No, we've got 19 damage. It's not lethal. Okay, let's ping. Let's see what beast we get. Okay, that's terrible.
To battle.
Right. Now let's fireball, fireball, fireball. Right, we have lethal next turn. He needs 1 damage to kill me, and I'm saying well played because I think I'm dead. Consecration, muster for battles, weapon, the light's justice, that kills me. That does not kill me. We win. Fantastic game.
Reporting for duty.
Down to the wire. Down to the absolute wire. Wow. That was a lot of fun. And we did our quest. Okay, so the Amaz Double Trouble deck. Mixed views on this. Mixed views. We won some. We lost some. Not quite sure if this is a viable deck for me to play with on the ladder. The Sludge Belcher's helped a lot, really. Didn't really get to use Emperor Thorosian, which is a shame. Thorazon, if that's how we say it. Archmage was a massive help. Rhonin helped out a lot. Boom was okay. The problem was drawing the late game in the early game, and I would imagine those games would have gone a lot smoother if we'd drawn that early game. But all in all, though, it's still a really fun deck to play. Effigy is a lot of fun too, and trying to get the timing right on Effigy is quite an interesting thing. Okay, so could this deck be improved? I mean, would a mirror image be actually helpful for comboing with the Archmage? Or maybe even Arcane Blast. A lot of Tempo Mages run that card now. Water Elemental didn't really do a huge amount for me in this game either, although I know it's a very strong minion to play because of the 6 health. Flame Strike didn't help me at all. This is the trouble with running only 1 Flame Strike. You don't get to draw into it when you need it. But 2 Flame Strikes is too slow, especially with all the late game. So, Mirror Entity was okay. Wasn't particularly strong in this game either. I would consider running 2 Mirror Entities and 1 Effigy perhaps. But all in all, a fun deck. Okay, we're now going to have a look at a second deck, another Tempo Mage deck, and it's by someone called Fanorootbeer. Now, what's different about this deck? Well, the immediate difference that sticks out to you is Effigy. There's only 1 copy, and there are 2 mirror entities in this deck. It also runs Clockwork Gnome, which is really interesting. It's quite unique. You want it for the spare part to combo with the Flame Waker or with Antonidas. So, a couple of interesting differences there, but also Mechanical Yeti, spare parts to fuel Antonidas and to fuel the Flame Waker. So, whilst there are a lot of similarities with the Amaz Double Trouble deck, there are a lot of big differences, and the Mech Yeti, as I said, is a big one. This deck also runs, it doesn't run Sludge Belcher, which is interesting. So we don't need the taunts. The Amaz deck ran 2. But this deck does run Rhonin and the Archmage and Dr. Boom, which is quite standard. Oh, and it also runs double double Azure Drake as well, the same as the Amaz deck. So those are the similarities and differences. We've also got a Flame Cannon in this deck, which we didn't have in the Amaz deck. So, let's see how we go.
Jane versus Malfurion.
Flame Cannon's so useful in gaining early board tempo. Really, really useful. Okay, we've got the Mana Worm. That's such a huge consideration. I'm contemplating keeping the Flame Waker or ditching it, looking to gather in some more spells, but I'm going to keep it. And we've got the Mech Yeti. It is a bit of a slow hand though, because we've got Mana Worm, Frostbolt, and then you don't want to put a naked Flame Waker down the board. But we have the coin, and starting off with the coin as a Tempo Mage is absolutely huge, because that can be used with the Flame Waker later. So maybe that was our reasoning there for keeping the Flame Waker. We have the coin, it is an advantage. We can't use our Frostbolt here, but we can coin an Arcane Intellect, or coin a Flame Waker. I'm actually going to Frostbolt. I'm contemplating a Frostbolt on his face. I'm seriously thinking about it. I know it's not a great play. I know most people would laugh that play down. But the problem is, if I don't cast that spell, my Mana Worm dies for free. The Mana Worm has to contest the 3/2. If I don't cast a spell, it's still a 1/3, and it dies for free to his 3/2. So I did coin in the end, and I coined out the Flame Waker. I thought I'd risk it. I thought I'd save the Frostbolt. Right, he's going to target the Flame Waker. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because the Mana Worm survives. Okay. And now I'm going to Arcane Intellect. It's not bad, actually. Okay, we've got a curve now. We've got Mech Yeti into Emperor for the next 3 turns. So one of those turns is mana inefficient, but that's okay. So Mech Yeti here, or I could just Arcane Intellect again, after playing the Apprentice. But no, we don't need more cards, not yet. Let's save the Arcane Intellect for an opportune moment. Let's just play on curve with the Mech Yeti. It contests the 4/3. He'd have to hero power to kill it, but he's going to get the value trade. Well, it's not a value trade. His Shredder died. I forgot that my Mana Worm was buffed up. Unstable Ghoul. Now, the Death Rattle will do 1 damage to the board, so it doesn't really do much for him. He's only just going to damage his own minions. Right, Living Roots, 2 damage on my minion is actually not bad, because if I trade in, it'll put the Mech Yeti down to 1 health, and then he can hero power it down. So I'm actually going to Frostbolt. I'm actually going to consider Frostbolting that 1/3. Yeah, let's do it. Because now look at my Mech Yeti. It only took 1 damage, so it's a 4/2. He's going to have to trade the Shredder in. So that's good. The Frostbolt there helped me to get value out of the board state. That's really good. Unless he's got another spell that he can use to kill the Mech Yeti. But even then, the Scientist is contesting his Shredder. Right, that's not going to help him. Oh, he still traded. Okay, that's not going to help him. And that won't help him either. Druid of the Claw is a 4/6. Now, I have a Fireball, thankfully, in hand. Oh. Whirling Blades. You know, he should have Whirling Blades the 4/6, I think. I think that would have been a better choice. No, sorry. Whirling Blades gives plus attack. I thought it was the plus health one. No. Ignore what I just said. Yeah, he made the right choice. He Whirling Blades the ooze there, so it would contest my Scientist. That's actually a really smart play. Sorry, I thought he'd cast Armor Plating, which is the plus health spare part. I was wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Armor Plating on my Scientist, and I'm going to trade it in. And now my Scientist lives. It's still alive. He'll have to hero power it down, or use Swipe here, potentially. Swipe is quite awkward. It's 4 mana. He has 7 mana. What do you do with 3 mana? I wouldn't mind it if he swiped the board down, but no, he's going to use Keeper of the Grove, and he's going to Hero Power. Okay, he's floating 1 mana. That's not a bad thing for me. We're going to get a secret, and it's Effigy. And now we play the Emperor. He has the power, and yes indeed, my hand cost has been reduced by 4. That's not bad. It's not the most valuable reduction, but it's okay. Why? Because the Archmage Antonidas is in my hand, and I've got spells in my hand too, and it's turn 8 next turn. We could play the Archmage, and we could play 2 spells. He was testing for Mirror Entity, so we could play the Archmage and 1 spell next turn. Sorry, not 2. He was testing for Mirror Entity there, and he knows it's Effigy now. You've got to kill the Emperor, because you don't want the Mage to get more reductions. But you can't kill the Emperor because of Effigy. So anyway, right now, Lotheb there is stopping me from casting spells. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the Mechanical Yeti to get more spare parts. I value killing the 2/3 because it ramps up his mana. And we don't want to do that because it's not turn 10 yet. So we value him having as less mana as possible to work with. He's going to have to kill one of these 2 minions, right? You really want to kill the Emperor, don't... Okay, he's gonna do a swipe. Okay. He's going to kill the Mech Yeti first. So I get a worse Effigy. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. And then he'll kill the Emperor. Sure. Okay. He's tanking 4, so the Mech Yeti got value. There's Effigy. What do we get? Okay, Goblin Blast Mage. It's 4 health. Okay, that's... He traded Lotheb. Great. Effigy there got tremendous value. And there's Rhonin. But no. We'll play the Archmage. Look at the spells we've got. Rhonin makes no sense when you can do this. The Archmage says, aha. There's another aha. And there's a final aha. Now, the Druid can't kill us. Combo doesn't kill us. It's not enough. We're at 25 health. Full Savage combo is just not enough. Well, there's the Force part of the combo. There's part 1. He's dead due to double fireball. And there we go. So, the Fanorootbeer Tempo Mage, able to take down the Druid with relative ease. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Jaina versus Malfusion.
Right, another Druid.
You asked for it.
Now, with this Druid, we've got double Frostbolt in hand, and we're just being joined there by Terrik, good friend of mine. Often works with me on arena runs, and great source of advice.
Hello.
Double Frostbolt is good against cards like Dynastus Aspirant, which ramp up the Druid's mana. But in order to use your Frostbolts, you need the Druid to play something. Otherwise, your turn is just sort of an empty turn. So I had to ping there. There's nothing for me to do. But now I can Frostbolt. Unfortunately, I'm doing it off curve. I mean, we're floating 1 mana, and that's not really a good thing. But it's better than playing the Flame Waker, a naked Flame Waker, which would just probably die to something he's got. Right, Piloted Shredder, really good 4-drop, played on turn 3 with the coin, that's really good. I can contest it with the Mech Yeti. Now, the Mech Yeti dies to Hero Power Shredder, but it gives me a spare part. And we have the Flame Waker, we have the Archmage soon to come. So the spare parts are what I want. Okay, a 2-2. It's not bad. Hopefully, this is his whole turn. Hopefully. If he has nothing else to play, the Mech Yeti at 5 health has done its job. It's really done its job. Okay, Mad Scientist. Now, I think, given the big drops that are coming through soon, playing the Scientist is worthwhile. Notice what I did there. I drew cards, and there was a reason for that. We have the Emperor in hand. We have the Emperor. The card discount alone is going to be insane when we then combo the Flamewaker with the Frostbolt, with the spare part, with the Mana Worm. Okay, Savage Combatant with Finicky Cloakfield. Okay, I don't really care too much. He doesn't kill the Scientist. How interesting. Okay. Effigy on the Emperor. And once again, he has the power. And look at the cost of our cards. 0 cost Mana Worm, 0 cost spare part, Frostbolt for 1. Wow. And we've got double Flamewaker. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mage's dream. The Tempo Mage dream. He tested for Mirror Entity. Interesting that he plays an Acidic Swampu, so he's obviously teching against weapon-based classes. Tarek agrees about the Effigy turn there. He agrees that I'm going to get value from this. There's Wrath. And I believe he's going to tank the Emperor, taking 5 to the face. Just what you want. Now, what do we get in return? Ooh, a Fire Elemental. Oh, and he didn't trade. He did not trade. Okay, it's time for fireworks. Mana Worm for 0. Flamewaker for 2. Another Flamewaker for 2. Yes, they both serve the Fire Lord. Frostbolt to the 5/4. Let's see where the missiles go. Yep, tremendous. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? And as Tarek says, fireworks. Yeah, the spare part there gave us 4 damage to the face. That's better than a Frostbolt. So, yeah, sure, why not? 0 cost, 4 damage. And he can see. Tremendous game. A lot of fun. When the Tempo Mage has this kind of hand, it's hard to beat. And even if he'd got rid of that board, I had double Azadrake. I'd have drawn 2 more cards. I had a Fireball. I had Burn. So, really effective deck, this. Fanorootbeer's deck, really, really effective. And I'd say much more effective than the Amaz deck because of the Mech Yetis. In a situation like this, you're not too bothered about giving the enemy a spare part. Right, I get rid of the Flamewaker because it's a hunter, and I want to draw into sort of arcane missiles and things I can use to kill low health minions. Yeah, low health minions just like that. Lepinome. Okay, it's turn 1. We're going to play the Mana Worm, and we're going to hope that he hasn't got a way of killing my Mana Worm. Next turn, I can consider pinging it or using the Frostbolt on this juggler here. So I think we kill the Lepinome, and we put down the Apprentice. And here's why. It's a 1 cost Frostbolt. And now look at the Mana Worm. It now has 3 attack, which is really good. So this is a face hunter by the looks of things. And usually for most classes, it's quite a difficult matchup because face hunters are so incredibly aggressive. Right, now, we can't play the Apprentice and the Fireball. We can play the Apprentice and the Arcane Intellect, but we need to get rid of Misha.
I wonder.
How do we get rid of Misha? And how much do I want to commit to the board? He's probably got Explosive Trap lined up to come soon. So how much do I actually want to commit?
Someday I'll be just like you.
Okay, we're going to draw cards. We'll use the buffed up Mana Worm to clear Misha. And now we'll just hope and pray that he doesn't have Explosive. The encouraging thing about this game, it's his turn 4, and I still have 26 health, which is really good. Okay, 24 health now. Soon to be 22 health, that's not so good. But we're not dead yet. And with the amount of damage Face Hunters can usually push through in the first 5 or 6 turns, you can often find that you can't recover. But I'm in a commanding position, and providing there is no Explosive Trap, I think I'm going to be able to find a way to win this. I'm playing the effigy there, not because it's valuable, but because I can. And when one of my minions dies, I'll get some form of board presence back, something to contest his low health minions. And I don't care if it's a 2-drop that I get back from effigy in this situation. Okay, there's the owl. Not the best owl target, to be frank. Well, actually, it is a good owl target because my spells are cheapened. He's trying to stop me from using spells to their cheapened effect. So, yeah, not bad. Okay, but one of the apprentices is still around, and I can Flame Waker now, and I can Mirror Entity, or I can Fireball the Leok, because I see it as a massive threat. There are lots of choices here to make, lots of choices. What I need is board presence, and I need control of the board in order to have any hope of winning this. I'm down to 22, it's going into his turn 6. That's not bad, you know. It's not bad. Some Face Hunters end the game. You know the game's over by turn 6. But in this particular game, we're on an even footing on the board, almost, and we're on an even health footing as well. So, okay. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to play it safe. I don't trust the RNG from the Flame Waker, so I'm actually just going to use the Fireball and go face. I have another Fireball in my hand, and that's 6 damage, remember? So that's 12. I can do 12 to him this turn. Lotheb just saved him. Otherwise, I'd have had lethal. So Lotheb was a great play. So this is this a Face Hunter, or is this a Hybrid Hunter? Anyways, he plays Lotheb. Now, Emperor there has just discounted everything, and once again, we'll get Fireworks. Unleash the Hounds, really good for him. KC on the wrong minion first. He should have used the Hounds to kill one of the apprentices. Because look, we just got an auctioneer. That's crazy. Because we can draw cards now. Anyway, yeah, he killed it. That's fine. Okay, it's time for Fireworks against the Face Hunter. Wait, do we have lethal? Have I just missed lethal? No, we've got lethal, it's fine. We're just BMing him. Flame Waker taking out both of his minions. Frostbolt taking out, would have taken out his face. Okay, so that was a great game there. A really fun game against a Face Hunter. So far, Fanorootbeer's deck proving to be tremendously effective. Tremendously effective. Okay. Mad Scientist in the opening hand is pretty good. Double Scientist is okay because now remember, this version of the Tempo Mage runs double Mirror Entity. That is really good. It's really, really good. So with Double Scientist, we're hoping that we'll get at least one Mirror Entity procced. Effigy coming out isn't the best thing in the early game, but there's a lesser chance of... oh, right. Yeah. We just drew Mirror Entity. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so those scientists are going to give us a Mirror Entity and an Effigy now. The higher chance of drawing into Effigy as well. Repentance on the Clockwork Gnome is really, really good. Really, really good. Against a mage, I mean, most mages would play Mana Worm, wouldn't they, on turn 1? So you'd expect Repentance to get values. You'd then trade the Spider into the Worm. But this deck plays Clockwork Gnome, and as I said, along with the Mana Worm. So Really good value there. Bit of a shock. Bit of a shock to your opponent. Most Tempo Mages, I think, don't play Clockwork Gnome now. It's usually only Mech Mages. Okay, juggle number 1. Oh, misses juggle number 2. That's really good. So now we can get the trade into the Knife Juggler. And we can play whatever we want to play. We have a coin as well, let's remember. We have a coin as well. Okay, the scientist says, fools. That Knife Juggler is begging to be killed. See, what I'm contemplating here is scientist, and then a potential coin and a ping. But I don't think I need to do that. The reason I want to ping is because this scientist dies for free, and I don't necessarily want that. So that's why I'm going to ping. Okay. We have Mirror Entity that's come up, not effigy. So that's actually better. It's turn 4. Maybe he plays something good, but the chances are he suspects it's Mirror Entity. So he'll probably try and give us something rubbish. But it all depends on what he's got in hand. He only has 4 cards in hand. And that card is actually pretty good. Argent Squire has Divine Shield. I rate that card very, very highly. It's a good card. It's going to take 2 attacks in order to kill it. That's absorbing 2 attacks. So, was that really the worst thing that he had in his hand? Okay, and he's going to muster. That's fine. He can now kill the scientist or, yeah, take down the squire. But look, as you just saw, 2 attacks have been absorbed. There's the Emperor. Not good now. Our hand is actually quite bad at the moment. So I'm contemplating Mirror Entity here, or just pinging. What do I actually want to do here? And by the way, this is how the Paladin the Secrets Paladin can regain control quite easily of a game. Muster for battle, unless you have a Flame Waker, is really, really good. Okay, I valued there just trying to remove something from the board there. So, Juggler, he gives me the Juggler. Okay, so I'm starting to get a picture of what he had in his hand. Divine Favour, though, really bad for me. Really bad, because the Secrets Pally was running out of fuel, and now he's refilled the hand. That's really bad for me. Okay, Effigy. Give me something good. I know it's just a 2-drop, but give me something. Ah, 3 health is really good. If it was 2 health, it would have died easier. But no, 3 health is good. Now, although I do have to kill the Juggler, don't I? Or do I? I don't. Because I've got Flame Cannon. So this deck incorporates Flame Cannon, and there was a really useful instance of being able to use it. You get rid of the 1/1s, and then you Flame Cannon the Juggler. Really good. Okay. Secret and Shredder. Now, what could that secret be? Unfortunately, my ship's cannon has 2 health. If it's Noble Sacrifice, it just dies a horrible death. It probably is Noble Sacrifice, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Emperor and pass. Sure. Because now, very soon, the Archmage Antonidas is going to get incredible value. If he wants to kill my ship's cannon with his Shredder, I'll let him take the value trade. Or if he wants to kill the Emperor and face tank it with the Light's Justice, I'll let him make that trade as well. I'm happy if he tanks 5 damage, because when the Archmage starts spouting fireballs, that 5 damage is going to essentially set him up to be killed very soon. He had to use Blessing of Kings, though, to take down the Emperor. I would say the Emperor has just gained me incredible value. And the Blessing of Kings was the majority of his turn. What can he do for 3 mana? What has he got in his hand? He only has 3 cards. What can he actually do? He's attacking face. I find that strange. Oh, wait, he didn't hero power. What? Oh, he doesn't want me to get value from the 2/2 trading into a dude, a 1/1. So is that saying that is not noble sacrifice then? Is that what that's saying? No, but if you put down a 1/1, I'd want to still trade into the 8/2 anyway because it's so threatening. I'm really confused. Is this some next level psychology that he's trying to play? All right, let's just try it. All right, it wasn't noble sac. It wasn't. Oh, redemption. Okay. Sure. Whatever. There's the Archmage Antonidas. There's the 0 cost freeze. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank at the moment. And we'll play the Apprentice.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Okay, so the freeze on the 4/1, the coolant played on the 4/1, and there's the weapon, but you can't kill the Archmage, can you? Well, it's secret. Another Divine Favour, yeah, sure. Refill your hand again. Do you know, I've had some interesting games in the past where I've just managed to fatigue Secrets Paladins, where they just play everything. They Divine Favour their hand, they play everything. You board clear them, they play everything again. You clear their board again, and they've got nothing left. This could be one of those games because Flame Strike is in hand, but this is not a Flame Strike board. It's okay. Avenge. You notate candle, says the Kobold Geomancer. Is this a Flame Strike board? What's that other secret? And how many fireballs can I get? I can get 2 fireballs out of this. It's not Noble Sac. Now, we are going to Flame Strike. He can't kill the Archmage Antonidas. He can't. Even with Consecration, well, you'd need double Consecration plus the True Silver Champ. And...
Who am I?
Who am I? None of your business. Okay, only 2 additional secrets. Secret Keeper, a bit of a dead card. Oh no, he's actually playing a secret from hand there, so it's not a dead card. He's actually getting some value out of it. And now he's going face. Is he trying to race me now? Does he know that he's more or less dead? Okay, I have a strategy in mind with this next play now. I can draw how many fireballs? I can only draw 2. No, I can draw more than that. I can draw more than 2 fireballs. So what we're going to do is we're only going to draw 2, but we're going to go face with the fireballs. Okay? And we're not going to attack. That's my strategy. Do not attack. Why? Because he hasn't got enough on board or in hand to kill me. He just can't. He has 10 damage. He can't do another 11 damage. It's just not. I don't think it's humanly, physically possible in the context of this game with his deck. So he's dead next turn. If I'd attacked, it could have caused all sorts of problems depending on what those secrets are. And that's how you beat a Secrets Paladin. Sometimes just don't attack. If you know you have lethal, let the board be. Don't attack and wait. And we did. Okay, this deck, really successful. And I think better than the Double Trouble deck. So I think from now on, this is going to be the iteration of Tempo Mage that I play. So a big thank you to Fanorootbeer for constructing this deck. It's different to the traditional Tempo Mage deck because of the Mech Yetis. And in this in the series of games we've had so far, those Mech Yetis have actually gained me incredible value, either with the Archmage or with the Flame Waker. The deck is missing a Sludge Belcher, and it is still quite a slow deck at times. Not as slow as the Double Trouble deck, but it is still slow. So it is something that I'd want to consider in the future. Would I put in a Sludge Belcher? Maybe take out an Azure, put a Belcher in. Rhonin hasn't got us any value in any of the games that we did play, but I can see if the game did go long, how he could get me value. But all in all, a lot of fun to play. Unstable Portal, a real threat in this deck if it gets you something decent. Flame Cannon worked out really well for me, really good in the early game, if it can get value on taking out a key minion. So yeah, this is a deck I'd recommend, as I say, this is something that I will continue using on the ladder perhaps. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Do check out my YouTube channel. There are more videos on there featuring arena runs as well as more constructed runs as well. So take care, and I'll see you all again very soon.